Welcome to Fraser Mac Gaming, I'm Fraser Mac. 2018 is in the past and we're well and truly into 2019 now, but there's still some time to reflect on the last year of gaming. I played a lot of games on my Switch in 2018, mostly indie games, but I didn't play as many as I hoped. With that in mind, I've taken some time to write down my top 10 indie games I wish I played in 2018. So which indie hits did I miss out on? Which games am I itching to play, and did your games from 2018 make my list? Find out after this. I've already posted my top 10 indies for 2018 video, and for those of you who watched it, you probably noticed there were some pretty big games missing from that list. If you've not seen it yet, click on the card in the top right now. But now we're all caught up, I'll go straight into the top 10 games I wish I played in 2018. I'm going to get a couple of big hitters out of the way early, and yes, I'm ashamed to say that I have not yet played Celeste properly. I haven't played the game that most people would say was the hands down indie game of the year 2018. For shame! I bought my Switch last January and I immediately got hooked on Mario Odyssey. There was an early buzz about Celeste, in that early part of 2018, and it's obviously amazing platforming and story, but I just didn't find the time. I did actually buy it, but I didn't find the time to play it. I was addicted to Odyssey for a long time, and then obviously playing Breath of the Wild. Then I launched my channel, started reviewing all sorts of games, and I never quite got round to it. Note to self, must play Celeste in 2019 and soon. Like I said at the start, there were some real big indie hits that I didn't get to play in 2018. Number 2 is another for that list. Yes, the retro-loving SNES kid that I am has not played The Messenger yet. Sabotage Games' debut title is everything I would dream of in an indie title and more. The same can be obviously said for a lot of other people because it's been a smash hit with gamers and critics. It's got an 8-bit start, which lovingly harks back to the Ninja Gaiden days. There's obviously a lot of ninja love out there in indie land these days, but this game has perfected it. It's got retro aesthetics, solid platforming, and then all of a sudden it transports you into an amazing 16-bit Metroidvania just to step up the complexity and the wonder of this game. Up next is another game with a split personality and a hell of a lot of awesome gameplay to boot, but it hasn't received the same praise or publicity as games like The Messenger or Celeste. Velocity 2X is a game that has posted an 87 on Metacritic, so deserves just as much praise. It combines two of my favourite genres, a fast-paced platforming and intense shoot-'em-up levels, and it wraps these two together to create an awesome end experience, from what I've been told. You get to pilot the Quark jet at high speed, use multiple weapons, and use a teleport feature to beat your enemies in race-style combat. Then, when docking your ship, you'll get to enjoy exploration and platforming on foot as a cybernetic pilot. All this is to overthrow the evil Vok, who took you captive and experimented on you. It originally released on the PS4 and the Vita in 2014, and now it's on Switch. It needs sales. The developers have already made an awesome sequel, but without more money coming in, it will never see the light of day. We're going to change gear here a little bit with something completely different, but very familiar to retro gamers. Back in the 80s and 90s, when I was growing up, racing games looked a lot different to how they do now. Before Gran Turismo started to change things, and long before Forza Horizon, you had arcade racing games like Outrun, Virtua Racing, and Daytona USA. Horizon Chase Turbo released on Switch at the end of November, and it harks back to the days of those awesome arcade titles. It's a 60 frames per second, addictive and gorgeous retro 16-bit style racing game that lots of people have been raving about. I'm not a fan of realistic racing games, but I do really enjoy some kart racing or some arcade action. It has a great nostalgia hit with added modern elements and improved graphics which look amazing. I can't wait to get on the start line and take it for a spin. We're getting to the midway point now, so I hope you've seen some games you like, and up next it's another retro style game with modern 60 frame per second action. Harking back to Zelda's early top-down days, Hyper Light Drifter is an action RPG game that released at the start of September and looked fantastic. Hyper Light Drifter came out on PC, PS4 and Xbox back in 2016, and the Switch release came out with some exclusive content such as a crystal shot that can freeze enemies and a blade caster. You get to explore a vast dark world attempting to find a cure for a deadly illness that you have been struck down with. There's lots of treasure, dangers and lost technology to discover. The game has an ominous tone, but you have to surmise the story through images and exploration, as there's no dialogue in the game at all. If you like fast-paced combat and retro action RPGs, then this could be for you. On to number 6 on the list now, and it's another action RPG that I'm dying to play. It's another game inspired by the Zelda series, but has a cool twist that adds something new to the gameplay. Moonlight is a roguelite action RPG, which basically means you're going to die a lot, but you can improve and upgrade your character. The game gets its challenge not only from pushing you to explore dangerous passages and battling multiple enemies and giant bosses, but from running a shop selling the items you discover in these locations. So you get to play as an adventurous shopkeeper. Yep, his name's Will. He likes to trade in exotic and valuable items. Where are you going to find these items though to make ends meet, you ask? In the dangerous passages and tunnels leading to dark dimensions and realms that just happen to be near your village. According to the reviews and what I've seen in trailers, the game looks gorgeous. It combines multiple gameplay elements really well and it's really addictive. It offers enough challenge and reward to keep you pushing deeper into the dark dimensions, looking for ever more valuable loot. I can't wait to get my hands on it and explore the depths of Rhinoka. Changing up the visual style now, and number 7 on the list is from those talented people at Supergiant Games. They're known for bringing Bastion to various platforms and specialise in isometric RPGs. Transistor is a sci-fi action RPG where you play as a singer who has had her voice stolen from her. You must use the powerful sword Transistor, upgrade its capabilities and master its power to unlock mysteries and regain your voice. The game takes place in a glorious futuristic city that has majestic hand-drawn art. There's a deep story to discover surrounding the city and Transistor itself. Supergiant Games have an amazing reputation due to the quality of the gameplay, story and artwork in their games. This is another adventure I can't wait to get my teeth into when I find the time from somewhere. We're coming to the last few games on the list now, and we're going from one beautiful RPG to a kind of ugly RPG. But Undertale, the cult indie classic which was announced as part of the Nintendo Direct last March, is regarded as one of the best indie games around. Despite its basic art style, the game has garnered huge praise for its amazing story and the freedom it gives you in how you approach the game itself. You have to explore the underworld and you will come across dangerous monsters, robots and even a fishwoman. Do you kill these creatures as you progress through the story, or will you befriend them? The decision is entirely up to you and has an impact on how the story develops. It's full of humour and some classic RPG gameplay. I have to say I was put off by the art style because I'm quite a visual person when it comes to games anyway, and that was one of the reasons I haven't played it so far, but it's a beloved game by many people and is sold by the bucket load. I love a good story and it's sure to make me laugh out loud when I do finally start it. We're at the penultimate game on the list now, and we're going to finish with 2 Metroidvanias. The genre has seen a huge resurgence on the Switch, and the last 2 games show the variety in ideas and gameplay that can be packed into a Metroidvania game. So Yoku's Island Express is number 9, which is a perfect mix of pinball, platforming and open world adventure. You play as a tiny postman Yoku, who must deliver parcels around a beautiful island making use of the pinball mechanics. You'll have to pick your path and master the platforming to complete tasks and discover new abilities to finish the game. It looks absolutely fantastic with numerous unique levels to traverse, and it even has boss battles. Whoever thought up a pinball platforming Metroidvania is a genius. Yep, that's you, Villa Guerrilla. We're on to our 10th and final game on the list now, but I've saved the best for last. It's another Metroidvania, and it's Guacamelee 2. It might not have the same wide appeal as Celeste and The Messenger, but it's definitely got the same quality. The Guacamelee series is well known due to its success on multiple platforms before it finally released on the Switch in 2018. I was eagerly anticipating it coming to my favourite hybrid console, and I was unbelievably excited when Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition was announced. If you don't know anything about the original, then go watch my top 10 indies on Switch 2018 video right now. I played the original and loved it from start to finish. It was a glorious game to look at, it was challenging, the gameplay had a lot of variety, and it was really entertaining with lots of humour in the story. Guacamelee 2 released on PC and PS4 last August, and I was pretty surprised when it came to Switch in December. After finishing the first game, I was super hyped for the sequel. I got a little sidetracked by Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom over Christmas. That's another glorious game, but as soon as I've finished it, I'll be diving straight into Guacamelee 2 and reprising my luchador adventures and bashing in some creatures from the underworld. So those are my top 10 games I wish I played in 2018. What did you think of the list? Are there any games you have in your back catalogue that you're itching to play? And are there any games you think I should have played in 2018? Please let me know in the comments down below. If this is your first time, then please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you know when my new videos are available. I release content every week about indie games, the Switch and gaming in general, so keep an eye on the channel. I'm on Twitter at FraserMacGaming, so get in touch and I'll see you on the next video.